Good morning, everyone. This is our team webpage, Pau Performance Enhanced. I'm Pau Chun Wa, one of the coaches of this team. And here's our team webpage. And what seemed impossible today will soon become your warm-up is our team slogan, which means we can help the athlete become to make some stiff training you seem difficult now become very easy. And here's a little bit uh, our coaching aims and about our team and uh, athlete portfolio of our athlete. His name's Pau Chun Wa is 27 years old in this year. He is a mid and non-distance runners, main event in half marathon and 3,000 meters steeple chase. He was a Hong Kong red athlete, and before he get injuries and his injury history is he have great bone muscle strength in his hamstring. And our short-term goals with our team with this athlete is make his half marathon can run within 1 hour and 20 minutes and 3,000 meters still chase within 11 minutes. And the long-term goals is make him back to the Hong Kong ranking. Hi, I'm the performance coach of this team, Pau Chun Wa, Michael. And here you can see which is our performance analysis pages. And we did some bone density test by the DEXA scan and power and strength test by the floss paint, speed test and yo-yo test before. Let's see what the result is. Firstly, here's two video which is provided by our client, Mr. Pau, and we can see that this is the video in around 20 kilometers of his Gold Coast Marathon. We can see that the cadence of running of Mr. Pau is decreasing. So after the interview, we know that Mr. Pau have a hamstring pain after he passed the 16 kilometers checkpoint. And this one is the official video in the finishing point. we can see that Mrs. Pau is trying to keep his body balance and try to make his cadence faster and faster, but you can also see that he is so very tight. And after interview, we know that he just started his half marathon training 4 months ago before the competitions. And here's some tests result by the by the DEXA scan, by the force plane, and some speed and euro test result. Firstly, we can see this, the left photo, this one. We can see this is a DEXA scan data. We can see that Mr. Pau is upper body is a little bit to the leftward, and the limb mass here's the limb mass of the left body are a little bit weaker than the right body. Is a little bit normal, but we are going to improve this one. Second, for the force plane and some speed tests. First thing, we check the counter movement jump and isometric mid-tight pull. For the counter movement jump, we can see that Mr. Powder landing peak force relative to his body weight is 9.8 in a mid and non-distance running, and Mr. Powder is running a 3,000 meters steeplechase. We need to jump over the hurdles. We have 35 hurdles in one competition. So a big landing force is easier to make Mr. Powell to have a knee injury. For the isometric mid-tight pull, the peak force of Mr. Powell is 1916 newtons. Is a little bit lower, but based on Mr. Powell is a mid and long distance runner, the power is not good enough for maybe other sport, just like basketball, soccer, or something is okay. So we are not going to focus on this type of training, but we need to still make the whole strength of Mr. Powell to improve. And here's two video of his tests. This is the isometric mid-tight pull, and here's the 10-meter spin test. And the other thing that we analyze is Mr. Powell running technique. Here's the video of his running technique. We can see that Mr. Powell is a rear foot strike, and according to the Hollander, here's a power force of rear foot strike RFS and FFS, forefoot strike difference. We can see that the rear foot strike is a not smoothly power force than the forefoot strike. And according his result in a elite half marathon, there are 415 runners were filmed by two 120 Hz video camera in a 0.15 meters, placed in 50-kilometer points. And the result is their rear foot strike runner with around 75%, mid foot strike runner with 24%, forefoot strike with 1%. But in the top 50 runner, which is including 69 place runner, they have rear foot strike with 62%, mid foot strike with 36%, and forefoot strike with 2%, which means the faster runner is mostly percentage run in forefoot strike. And this is one of the running technique we need to correct, Mr. Pau. First, for the running program, here's the running program 5 weeks before the training of the peak period. You can see that Mr. Pau is have 1 day off per week. He will go to gym room for some strength training. One training every day with him is not enough for the half marathon training. So we give him some suggestions. Firstly, about the analyze, we need to correct the body position, increase the jumping power, decrease the jumping essential time, increase the isometric mid-type pull back to the normal level. But this kind of problem will saturate by our S&C coaches. And we need to decrease the landing force related to body weight, which means like Mr. Pau running 3,000 meter stable chase become more easier. And one more point is in a half marathon running competitions, we need to run more than 20,000 steps. So high landing force will make his knee have a heavy effort. And we need to correct the type of strike of Mr. Pau and provide a better training program for the half marathon. And here's a few training skill for Mr. Pau to train up his step. We propose that Mr. Pau can ride with a forefoot strike. And this is the correction after training skill. In the photo, we can clearly to see that Mr. Pau is running better than before. And here's is the suggested training program for Mr. Pau. Firstly, we from the Monday to Friday, we have a morning session for 40 minutes jogging. And then for the afternoon session, we'll have a one training program for each day. Saturday mainly is a easy run day for the recovery. And the Sunday is for the long run day. And we calculate some running place for reference to Mr. Pau is here for 3 kilometers paces is 3 minutes and 2 seconds per km. 5 kilometers is 3 minutes and 16 per km. To the half marathon, 3 minutes to 33 seconds per km. Long one is around 4 to 5 minutes per km. And this training program, the pace calculation is by the reference by Luke Humphrey running. And the program setting is reference from the Jack Daniels running formula. And this training schedule around every week have 120 to 130 kilometers. A heavier training schedule, training km can make me start to run the half marathon more easier because we can know previous training in before the Gold Coast Marathon. He's just run one session per day, and they're around 40 kilometers per week. So make Mr. Pau last 15 last 8 kilometers become very hard, and this is all a performance coach will suggest. Thank you.
Hello. My name is CHOW Ka Hin, 3004-3418. I am a SNC coach in Power Performance Enhance. In my background information, I have world bodybuilding and physical sports federation house management certification, advanced technical certification, yoga association, exercise sport, and level 1 fitness coaching certification. And what that means SNC is strengthening and conditioning. Strengthening is build up the athlete's performance and muscle endurance. Conditioning is based on the athlete's sports to perform perform well in that situation, or from recovery to make a correct position. And my goal is to set up different training to protect the athletes. I have taught different athletes the correct training exercise to make them perform better. I can make the training more accurate, and different modes or plans are used during training. Therefore, so specific adjustments will be made to protect athletes. I let's talk about some background of athletes. Our athlete is Pau Chun Wa, who played a long distance running, about half marathon or 3,000 meters sprint chase. He is a Hong Kong ranked athlete. He set some short-term goal, half marathon or and 3,000 minutes times target, and long-term goal is back to Hong Kong ranking. So in this situation, I will help him some from his injury history to make the perform well and meet the target. In this time, let's see the strengthening and conditioning background information first. His Pau Chun Wa injury history is his spine appear left side. That can show that his spine is from middle turned left side. Pau already hurt hamstring grade 1. First the target, that is enhancing sports performance and reduce sports injuries and increase the physical strength. Some about the reduced sports injuries, that is about the injuries history. So we help him to come back to perform his competition well, or some training performance is set in the target. our aim is assess the athlete's physical ability, improve fitness and maintain performance, help athletes achieve their goals. Let's talk some about improve fitness and maintain performance first. Improve fitness, his jumping flexibility and performance analyze. You can see his some correct body position, increase jumping power, decrease jumping entry time, and increase isometric mid-top pull. So you can see helping him the landing force and the jumping force. The physical ability that long distance running, that respiratory time system to develop strength endurance, and aerobic type, continuous exercise and speed endurance, and muscle endurance, assess the muscle flexibility. Okay, let's see what we do for him in strengthening and conditioning. Some strengthening conditioning is helping him landing force. Some strengthening is helping him the spine. Okay, let's see the first suggestion. The side plank. Side plank is beginning position, side arms and toes on the floor. Side elbows are directly under the shoulders. Hold it 30 and 45 or 60 seconds. Let's see the video first. Okay, side plank is helping balancing and protecting the spine. Strengthens the core without stressing back. Okay, let's see the leg raise. Leg raise, flat on your back with your legs. Keep them straight. Raise them until the toes are pointing at the ceiling. Leg raise is helping to build core while lying down. It improves flexibility, enhances balance and stability. Okay, let's see the bird dog. Bird dog is a balancing motivation or action to holding the core. Start on your hands and knees with your hands directly under your shoulder and knees under your hips. Raise your right arm and left leg. Fully extend them in front and behind you, bringing them back and repeat with the other lips. Bird dog will don't do the left leg and left hands, both out of your body. Just will be right hand and left leg to make a balance and hold it. Let's see the video. It's right hand and left leg. Hold it and don't feel string it. Bird dog is improves stability that strengthens the core, hip and back muscles for promote the proper posture and increase the range of motion. Bird dog is encourage neutral spine and relieves lower back pain. This is quite specific for how his back pain endurance. let's see the ankle hooks is that helping the landing force and the jumping facility. Set 6 to 8 mini hurdles in the straight line, roughly the foot part. Stand up tall and place your hands by your side or behind your hand. Keep your feet together and raise on your toes while bending your knees as little as possible. Use your ankles to jump over each hurdle, keeping your heel off the ground. Spend a little time on the ground as possible. After the final hurdle, split a foot for 5 yards. Let's see. Jump, jump. And next part is running fast. This exercise with the ankle and foot strength. The major lower body muscles group like the core, glutes, and hamstring have strong flexibility feet and ankles. That is the jumping activation helping soften the stress. Let's see the bridge. Bridge is helping the hamstring and glutes muscle. Let's lay on your back with your knees bent on feet the floor, about the foot away on your back. Arms should rest at your sides. Contract abdominal muscles and glutes. Push your heels into the floor. And lift your hips off the floor until your body in a straight line, from shoulder to knees. Really focus on squeezing the hamstrings. Pose in this position for 10 to 20 seconds. This movement works the muscle on the back of body. Its lower body work out a powerful glute activation exercise. And let's see the single leg bridge. It summarizes the bridge, but it will be one leg is higher. Place an exercise mat on the floor. Arm, shoulder, right side is also. And you can see the difference is raise and extend your left leg while keeping your pelvis raised and level. Your right foot stays planted on the floor. In order to hold the pelvis level, need to contract both abdominal and lower back muscle. This will help stabilize your spine. Use this exercise for unique twice on the traditional core and abdominal strengthening exercise. And let's see the single leg banding. Single leg banding is also landing force and some like the running position and motivation. They will change the leg. Put the body in the right position to rebound safely and powerfully. Use a basic box jump or single leg banding due to movement patterns. Single leg banding is focus hips and knees while engage your glutes hamstring. You want a soft landing, extended through your hip and knees. Okay, let's talk some recommendation. Based on athletic strength and conditioning are helping professional tests. The training plan can, according to X-ray test, the X-ray test can show the body muscle and bone problems clearly. These cases we have based on his X-ray test, so we can set up some strengthening and conditioning program for him to helping the problem. According to athletic, is long-distance running cannot enhance the lower body muscles, therefore affecting the muscle strength to protect the athletes not deepen than injury. The aim is aiming the injury position of athletes to strengthen and improve their exercise posture to reduce the pressure on muscle and bones.
My name is Ming. My SHIP student ID is 2070-02265. My SHU student ID is 3004-3415. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ming, a lifestyle coach of Power Performance Enhanced. Let me introduce my part, lifestyle. As a lifestyle coach is working towards the athlete's daily life, helping the athletes to create a suitable lifestyle which can improve their performance through the following timetables. My goal is helping the athletes develop their ability through their correct lifestyle. Let me introduce what is lifestyle. It's a style of living that reflects the attitudes and value of a person or group. The totality of the likes and dislikes of a particular section of the market. It combines your interests, eating, sleeping time, needs, and feelings. I think lifestyle is equal to your life. What you do in your daily life, what your lifestyle will show it. Okay, here is our athlete Pau, his lifestyle questionnaire. This question can get more information about Pau. It will analyze his lifestyle, such as his weight, did he use tobacco or not, did he has some using drugs habit. Through of the questionnaire, we will get different kinds of answer or information to help Pau to design a suitable lifestyle. I think we need to read Pau his original timetable. You will see there is Pau original timetable. There are some breaks in the morning. As his eating time is too short, you can see his coaching time and training time is too busy, such as Wednesday. He need to finish 2 coaching sessions continuously. Then he need to go to have a running session immediately. That he did not have any eating time at night. As a non-distant runner, he needs lots of energy to maintain the body moving. Also, you can see there are too many brands, and there are not any gym session. Although he is a non-distant runner, I think gym session will not be his burden. It will be his support. He is a non-distant runner. He has some goals. He wants to his marathon target. His half marathon target will be on 80 minutes. Also, he wants to back to Hong Kong ranking. So I will decide a new timetable to Pau. This is new timetable. I want to increase more training in gym session. As Pau is a mid and non-distant runner, he must get a high intensity training. It will improve his muscle endurance and explosion. It will be good for non-distant running. Someone said marathon is a powerful game. I think effective muscle strength training will help him. It will improve running economy, increase lactate metabolism rate, increasing maximum speed. It's good for him. Also, it will increase muscle resistance to fatigue. So you can see I designed 2 more gym sessions to Pau. The first one is on Tuesday. The second one is on Friday. Why I said there are only 1 hour gym session for Pau? I think he should not have too heavy training to him, because after he finish his gym session, he need to go to the coaching session around 2 hours. After that, he must need to have a second running session. I think it will not give him too much burden. It will increase his muscle recovery. Also, I think strength training can bring more performance benefits than most runners imagine. I think the core is stable for a long distance runner, so that every step you take, the Achilles tendon can absorb more energy, so that the less energy is needed for the same speed. It's good for a long distance runner. Also, in his original timetable, I have some findings. Sorry, there is technical problem. I have some findings. I think Pau should take the rest and stretching before running session. So I design some stretching and cool down session to Pau. It must be following the timetable. Also, the time of eating should be balanced. So I decide 3 to 4, usually maybe 5 times eating to him. Moreover, I think the start training and aerobic exercise to develop muscle. So I said he need to have a muscle training or gym session in a week. Also, there are alternate hard days of training with rest. So I prefer the Sunday will be his recovery day. So he did not have any training in the morning. After that, I will give him some suggestions. The first one is massage. I think the major benefit of massage is that it relaxes tense muscle and remove adhesions or minuscule tissue between muscle and fascia. A facing word for the shape and casing that surrounds his muscle. Also, massage will help him to his range of motion, potentially leading to abnormal movement patterns that will not cause overuse injuries. Also, massage have much advantage to him. It will increase joint range motion. It increased flexibility. It increased sense of well-being. There are many advantage to him. After that, I will suggest the bathing, cool bathing. Ice bath can have a positive effect on the central nervous system, which help him to sleep and feel better. You can see he has a lot of training in a day. After he finishes his running session, I would suggest he maybe have a cool bath after the running session at night. It will help him to sleep and feel better. I think a long distance runner should have a good quality sleeping time. It will increase his performance or feelings before his coming competition. Also, according to some data, the greatest benefit of ice bath mostly like is that they simply make the body feel good. After an intense workout, the cool immersion can be a relief to sore, burning muscle, a body set. Also, it will help him to control his nervous system. Cool bath can release his stress and making his feel better than having less fatigue. Also, it will limit the inflammatory response. It will decrease the effect of heat and humidity. Also, it will change his vagus nerve. It will see the cool bathing can decrease inflammation in his legs and speed the rate of healing. It is really good things for him. Okay, after his original timetable, there are plenty of questions I really want to suggest him. He must have a stable eating time. Because eating is really important for an athlete. Also, he is a long distance runner. He needs much energy to maintain his body moving. So I design all things all eating time after his running session. After 15 to 30 minutes, if he eating, the recovery time is really good for him. You will see I suggest he have a cool down time around 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes, if he have a good eating, such as he eats some carbohydrate, some protein, he will easily to get more energy and get more nutrition. Also, there have some free time. I will suggest he do some massage or have a cool bathing. It is really good for him. After that, although he is a long distance runner, he really want to train more. So I designed the Sunday he will have a long running session. It will around 3 to 4 hours. It is a good time to him to practice more long run to help him to increase his or get more experience about running half marathon. Also, I haven't moved any coaching session about his schedule. So I decide he must have a dinner time in every day because dinner is really important to him before his running session. I only suggest him to eat a little bit because before the running he should not eat too more. The last one, I will decide him to sleep around 11 p.m. It is suitable for him. That's all of my presentation. Thank you.
My name is Kei from sports coaching. This is My schedule number is 300434427. This is my role and responsibility to provide nutrition assessment and consultation, to develop in food selection, purchasing, and preparation, adjustment in energy balance and weight management, to apply sports nutrition science in fitness and performance, personalized nutrition strategies, enhancing athletic training capacity and performance, assisting in delaying fatigue and speed the recovery. This is the athletic background. His body fat percentage is 19.4%. His specific sports is mid and long distance running. He has grade 1 muscle strains hamstring. So the short-term goal is to design a new diet plan with adaptability, such as avoid trans fat intake and increase the unsaturated fat intake, to improve body fat from 19% to 17%, from average level to an athletic level, to share the basic dietetic nutritional information, such as the rate of intake and nutrition information label. In long-term goal is first to help him sustain healthy diet, such as low sodium, reduce or no trans fat, frequently and regular meals, to promote in recovery from injury, such as take anti-inflammatory foods for decreasing inflammation and support recovery, to maintain the body fat percentage in athletic level, to be aware of the importance in healthy diet, to maintain a long time, not just few months. And after that, the interview, he has no allergic food. He could not eat any spicy food. He has no smoking, no drinking. He has supplements in vitamin and minerals, such as vitamin B, D, calcium, and zinc. In his dietary history, he has no time to prepare or cooking food. He always go to restaurants and have monotonous meals. He has intensive activity. His eating time always been coaching and running sections. Maybe he had no too much time to have a digestion. And also the problem is diet plans is an irregular diet, such as on Monday and Wednesday, he had no dinner. On Friday, he had no lunch and dinner. That he had no enough energy intake to support him to join his training running section. And he had a repetitive and monotonous meals in his dietary history, same breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in his meals, he is mainly in fast foods, few vegetables, and no fruits, no balance in that structures. And his sodium intake is excessive. It's around 3,000 and 3,378. World Health Organization advised that the maximum of sodium intake should not over than 2,000 milligrams. And in his diet structures. Main advice for macronutrient intake is 55% to 75% of calories from carbohydrates. It provides 4 calories per gram, and here is a little mistake. 10 to 15% of calories from protein. It also provides 4 calories per gram, and 20 to 35% of calories from protein provides 4 calories per gram. Actually, no, it's from fat and provides 9 calories per gram. And in his carbohydrates is around 34% in his intake is not enough. That is insufficient in carbohydrates, accepted protein in repair, regeneration, and prevent muscle loss. And his fat is excessive. It's also excessive with sodium. And this is his energy intake, energy expenditure. Here is the formula to calculate the energy expenditure. The energy balance is total is lost over than 10,000 calories. It's not reasonable to lose weight, and it could not support his everyday activities. And carbohydrate is important to providing energy and regular body counts that we can have movements, we can walk, running, and have training. And energy stored as glycogen. If our glycogen stores become full, it will be converted to fat, and a reasonable intake of carbohydrate could enhance the aerobic ability and have better performance. Protein is mainly responsible for building our muscle and bones. It promotes growth and repair of muscle. So it's acceptable range. And fat and nutrient protein is good pro energy, but it's the last one. We use up the fat, the carbohydrate, the fat, we will use protein to release energy. And fat could also provide energy. It's slow. The process of providing energy is slow, but it could sustain many hours, several hours to engage in endurance training. It could protect our inner organs from shock when we running, walk, or do others exercise, and prevents heat loss, suppress sense of hunger, and as a medium to transport vitamins to our bodies, such as soluble vitamin A, D, E, K. Vitamin and minerals is also important, although we just need little small amount. Vitamin D and calcium could help with muscle contraction, and vitamin K and zinc could reduce clotting of blood. It could help wound healing. Iron is necessary for metabolic functions such as oxygen transport and storage in body. Magnesium could maintain the bone health, but zinc could maintain electrolyte balance. Here is some suggested food. It's could easy to find and buy in supermarket. It's easy to prepare, and like such berries, acai berry and elderberry could be a natural energy booster. And raspberry is good for bone healthy. It could promote weight loss. And blackberry, cranberry could be an effective anti-inflammatory to help recovery. And caffeine could enhance the supplementation period. It's improved performance by reducing the perceived excitation before exercise. And his could have a quick energy providing. These have iron to reduce fatigue. Vitamin A to help provide help to maintain healthy skin cells, and calcium to have a strong bones, vitamin C to help immune system. And before exercise, maintain the hydration, take a meal with high carbohydrates, moderate protein, low fats, adequate fluids, and appropriate portion. This is a time finish before exercise. During exercise, maintain the blood course is important for injuries. Maintain the blood course and replenished fluid is important for endurance training. After exercise, replenish the energy, fluids, electrolytes, protein, and water to ensure rapid recovery, to promote building of muscle tissue. And water fuel is also important.
This is Pak Ting. I'm the psychology coach from the team. A psychology coach is working towards the athlete's mental health in order to help them to stay motivated and focus on the training to improve their performance. So let's start with the psychology. First of all, why do we need a psychology coach? Psychology is one of the factors that can affect sport performance, which requires to develop to maintain or improve the athlete's performance. What are the psychological stage effects to the athletes? First, can increase the intrinsic motivation by setting up a short-term goal that will be able to achieve. Second, it can build up the self-confidence by enhancing the weaknesses and strengthen the injured part. Also, it can develop communication with other coaches to reach a consensus to make adjustments on the program. And it also can learn the mental preparation to provide mental support on training and play field for the athletes. So how do we approach the athletes? First, we will conduct an interview with him to get the background information, and we will have the athletes to answer a questionnaire on the mental condition. Also, we will proceed to another questionnaire which is targeting the athlete's mental conditions. And lastly, we will make recommendations on the problems. So here are the problems we found after an interview with the athletes. He feels stressful while doing practices and training since there are too many workloads, such as schoolworks and his job as a coach, but also practices in every day. And he also fears of injury while practicing because he has a injury history of hamstring muscle strain. And also he worries about the long period of time to recover since it will take more time to reach his goal. So let's move on to the questionnaire. We have chose the sport competition anxiety test as the questionnaire 1. The reason of choosing this questionnaire as reference is because The target is an elite athlete and he's trained to compete. Also, this is mainly asking towards the pre-competitions. And also the questions are targeting the problems he meets, such as worrying of performance and producing mistakes. And questions are also about emotion before the competition and the reach of goals. As you can see in the bottom, it has the clear scoring to measure symptoms of the anxiety. So for the result of the questionnaire 1, here has the scores of 20, which indicates an average level of anxiety, and it can affect his performance because he's suffering in pressures, stresses, and worrying about his performance. Also, he cannot memorize the techniques during the competitions since he is not calm down and he's thinking something else. And he could also make wrong decisions and forget of the strategies which the coaches gave him. He worries about making mistakes while competing, and that's why he cannot perform well during the competition. And also he notices the heartbeats are faster than usual right before the competition. It can cause him using the incorrect power zone and affect the power output. As you can see in this graph right here, it shows the heartbeats stays in different power usage from the resting to 200 watts. If he is under the abnormal heart rates, he could feel discomfort and painful. Also, he feels nervous before the competition, which can affect the logical thinking. So how do we improve these problems? The coach should teach the athletes some mental preparation skills at different stages of the competition. So here are some techniques. First, do emotional rehearsal in daily training sessions, such as thinking of the competition scene and control the emotion. Also, increase the motivation by enhancing the weaknesses in the training session. And he can learn the self-talk right before the start of the competition, such as telling himself to calm down and think of the strategies. And lastly, focus on the strategies which his coaches gave him. Keep the paces and the tempo and do not get bothered by other players. And the coach should emphasize the previous mistakes to the athletes in order to help them to strengthen the weakness part to mainly target the weakness. And the coach should encourage the athletes right before the competition starts to build up their self-confidence. Also, the athletes should set up some short-term goals which can be achieved in a few weeks or months in order to raise his motivations. And athletes can train with a partner to talk with or to build up a healthy competition by making progressions. So after the questionnaire 1, let's move on to the next questionnaire. And the sport anxiety scale, as is selected as the questionnaire 2 for reference. The reason of why choosing this questionnaire is because the result of questionnaire 1 reveals that the athlete is suffering in average level of anxiety, so that's why we need to develop a deeper understanding to his anxiety. And also this questionnaire can reveal different types of psychological symptoms of anxiety by the score. So by the results of the questionnaire 2, here are the score he gets from the questionnaire, and it shows that the athlete is suffering in worries and trait anxiety. For his worrying, he worries about not performing well, and the thoughts of doing poorly interfere with the concentration during the competition. This can affect the logical thinking that he is not calm down and to perform techniques or to pick correct choices. Also, he worries about taking on time to reach his goal, since he is afraid of long time of recovery. That makes him lack of self-confidence and motivation to keep training and to compete. So for the body controlling, which is the somatic trait anxiety, he feels tense to his body sometimes, and this could affect the performance or causing injuries during the training or competing. And he also feels races in his heart moderately, which is also revealed in questionnaire 1, and this could cause discomfort or painful to him. And for the concentration disruption, he feels lapse of concentration during the competition due to the nervousness, and he cannot concentrate on the techniques while thinking of other things or the previous mistakes or the failures. So for the recommendations on these problems, and the athletes should always do the mental preparation, such as self-talk, to tell himself to calm down and think of the strategies and focus on the competition. By following the pace by himself and do not rush too hard on the competition, and don't get bothered by other players. Also, he can build relationships with his teammates or partners. They can act as a role to communicate with him or support him during the training. And there are also a method as a daily training to calm down and take a deep breath and to release stress and calm down if it is necessary by 3 to 10 times. And lastly, he should also think positive by accepting the previous mistakes and failures and to improve them and strengthen the weaknesses and make improvements. So to summarize, psychology is obviously affecting performance while having bad or unhappy experience. People cannot perform well while having nervousness. However, coping these problems and build up a strong mind can help improving the performance by not afraid to make mistakes or fail. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.